should add Borgy mobs into your prehistoric Rift survival world.
I think I overhyped this way too much, but whatever. Anyways, due to the incident in the last episode, I decided that I will build a pen for my moms with a big ass door so that my pets will never die again from random wandering carnivores or mob events, and that's pretty much the main focus. So I looked up designs for large piston doors for the pen and I found this 8x8 design that requires a lot of components that I'll probably have problem getting, but I decided that I'm up for the challenge anyway, and so I did. Sometime after installing Borgy's mobs and gearing up, a random handcrab zombie walked into my area and killed 2 of my pets, which I was not happy with, so I ended up taming a few raptors and a baryonyx and I put them right in where I sleep to ensure their safety while I make the pen. The first step was measuring up how much space the door will take. The tutorial that I brought up in this video had a download link to the build, and after doing some measuring, I decided to start digging up a space near my base as well as making a tunnel that connected my main room to it. Also, while that happened, a raptor raid occurred and killed me, and I lost some items in the process, and angered by this, I decided to set the difficulty to peaceful. After finishing up the area, the next step was to find a Bakunawa, which was the main reason why I decided to add Borgy's mobs to the world in the first place. It wasn't really needed to build the pen, but it was needed for potentially finding building materials for the pen, as well as for general exploration in the near future. Now that those were all done, the next step was finding the materials required to build the door. The first notable one was slime balls for the slime blocks and the sticky pistons. Specifically, I needed 406 of them, and so I decided to set up a slime farm. After finding a slime chunk due to exploiting the fact that slime chunk locations are the same, regardless of seed on Bedrock Edition, I tried manually digging down all the way to Y level -59. But I gave up because I didn't want to lose my sanity doing this, especially with what I have at the moment. So I decided to download the quarry add-on and edit it a bit to make it work for 1.18, and after multiple quarries to dig down all the way to Y level -59, I set up a spawn area, a Saurophaganax, and a kill chamber, and got tons of slime balls from killing the slimes with my Saurophaganax. That's 2 components fully obtained so far. Now that I had so much slime, the next step was to find honey, and I figured that this would be the best time to hatch the Bakunawa egg from earlier in the video, which I did. After that, I used a biome finder to locate a flower forest biome and found 2 bees there. I then stayed around to harvest enough honeycombs to create extra beehives back at my base, then afterwards kidnapped them with a leash. Only problem was that my Bakunawa flies so fast that if I were just to fly on it with the bees leash, then the leash will break, so I had to walk them back home instead. After settling the bees in the bee farm built before leaving to find them as well as breeding them, I decided to harvest them for honeycombs because I thought that you can craft them into a bottled honey for the honey blocks, which wasn't the case. So I ended up expanding the honey farm to get more honey, except with bottles instead. And that was it. I gained lots of honey blocks. Now with the sufficient honey needed, all that's left is to collect all of the other boring materials that I could obtain easily. Well, guess what? Since the area for all of my tame creatures is done, I figured that I'm just gonna show it off right now, as well as some of the other things that I have done for this episode. That was all required to make that big ass door. Anyways, I'm gonna just open it for now. Pretty satisfying to see it just open and close for no reason. Like, I could literally just press this button all day all long just to see it open up and close up and whatever. But I think that's gonna be all. And the other thing that I'm gonna show off now is the bee farm. So let's just grapple hook all the way up. And dang it.
A few minutes later.
Yeah, that did really take a while. I could have just went inside and just used the ladder that goes up here. But anyways, yeah, this is the bee farm so far. Like, let me go in. Yeah, we basically started out with just these 3 beehives, but then over time, in order to get more honey, I decided to expand. And now there's like 7, and I could make this. I could just literally just automate it, or I could just add a new creature that could harvest all of the honey. But who knows? And the last thing is that I'm gonna show off is the slime farm. So I'm just gonna get a Utahraptor, and also the reason why that Stegosaurus is still there is because I still needed to stay over there just to harvest all of those crops. Like, I might also need to add a roof here so that anything that just decides to fall down all the way here doesn't go kill it or whatever. And now let's make our way to the slime farm as promised. So there's the good old slime farm. Normally it would take an entire lifetime just to be able to dig all the way down to Y level 59, but thankfully I got quarry add-ons, and in order to go all the way down there, like, I added a ladder as well as some water so that I could just fall off. And yep, we're all down here, and yep, this Sarcophaganax stays up forever because it's underground, and at Y level -59. And we're in peaceful mode, so no slimes falling down for now. But anyways, I figured that that'll be all. Anyways, I figured that that'll be all for just to showcase everything that I have built for this episode, I guess. Turns out not yet, because I plan to raid this woodland mansion I encountered while searching for the Bakunawa egg. In the next episode at least, since this video is getting way too long anyway. But anyways, I figured that that'll be all for this episode, and goodbye for now.